Good morning, YouTube. Mike Kelly here, owner of Mike Kelly CPA. I'm so glad you're here as I'm going to be covering beneficial ownership information reporting, also known as BOI. And this is stemming from the Corporate Transparency Act of 2021. I hope you have heard of it. If you haven't, well, here's your introduction to it. Starting right now in 2024, these new rules are rolling out and they are mandatory. We're going to talk about it. And if you do not comply as a business owner, it's extremely expensive, very expensive. In fact, it's so expensive that it could bankrupt a lot of businesses. So it's very important that we learn what these rules are. I wouldn't really be scared of this. I don't think it's anything really difficult, but it's unfortunately more paperwork for us to fill out. And if you're a business owner, like I am, a small business owner, you probably have your plate overloaded as it is, but this is something, unfortunately, you're gonna need to do. And so let's dive in and let's talk about this. As we dive into the video, could you do me a quick favor? If you like the video, if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, please be sure to comment or leave your questions, your thoughts below. It really does mean a lot. I'd love to hear your engagement about this particular topic. And if you want to see more videos such as this one and many other videos coming down the pipeline, be sure to subscribe. Now, I know by the time you're seeing this video, Christmas is over, or so you thought, but I actually do have a free gift for you. And I'm giving this to all of my clients who want it. I'm gonna have this on my website, but more importantly, if you're on YouTube, then you're gonna find a complete handout of information I summarize from the actual webinar of FinCEN, the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, where this is all coming from, that bureaucracy. I've summarized it very neatly in notes and other resources you can download for free. You're gonna find that link in a Dropbox link in the description section of this video. Now, I work with so many business owner clients throughout the country, whether they're LLCs, formed as a corporation, formed as an S corporation, partnerships, etc. This does not apply to sole proprietors, so that's one thing to know, and it does not apply to trust. At least that's what they specified so far. So if you're a sole proprietor or if you're a trust, you can't ignore this. But if you're any other business type of entity, you should be familiar with these rules because more likely than not, this will affect you. And so that's why we're covering this today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say real quickly that I am not an attorney. I am a licensed CPA, but I do not practice law. Does that make sense? So if you have any really in-depth questions regarding this, then you should really consult your legal counsel or your attorney. I hope you have an attorney on your team. It's very important that you eventually get one. If you don't have one, at least that's my recommendation, because matters of law are not something I can address. It's really up to you as a business owner to follow these guidelines. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because as a CPA, I get questions on every single financial topic you could possibly imagine, whether it's accounting, whether it's tax, whether it's financial advising, whether it's investing, whether it's legal stuff. People come to their CPA constantly. And so I need to be attuned with some of these new laws because I work with so many business owners throughout the United States that it would be a disservice to my clients if I did not inform them about this, which is why I'm making this video and why I've put together the handout. First of all, the bureau that we're dealing with here is FinCEN. So I want you to become familiar with that because that's the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, and they are a division or a separate arm of the Department of Treasury. Why are they even doing this? Just real briefly, what they have come out with in terms of why they're doing this now, because it's really geared towards small and mid-sized business owners, is to stop the flow or hinder the flow of money laundering and terrorist funding and things like that. So they're trying to crack down on illicit funds from people who have been using these various corporate structures or business structures to launder money, and without the government really knowing who these people are. That's why you're seeing this here today. First thing you should know is that they're going to begin processing, or you can begin processing your beneficial ownership information report, BOI, as early as January 1st of 2024 via the website, which I'm going to link below. You can go on their website and start that reporting process. This is very simple stuff, guys, but we'll cover that in just a second. Now, here's the thing I really want you to know. If you have formed your business, LLC, corporation, etc., before 2024, then you can wait to file this until beginning of 2025. If, however, you form a new business during 2024, it is very important that you file your BOI report within 30 to 90 days. In fact, I'm going to double check that number I just told you, but somewhere within 30 to 90 days of forming a new entity, you would need to be reporting to FinCEN this information. Okay, so who is a beneficial owner? Let's talk about that right now. So a beneficial owner, and I'm just going to read this to you, this is their definition. A beneficial owner is an individual who directly or indirectly controls at least 25% or more, and this includes senior officers, individuals who have authority to appoint or remove certain officers of a company, decision makers of a company, etc., etc. So basically, if you have 25% of control or more, then this is going to directly impact you, and you're definitely going to have to report under most circumstances. Now, the question on my mind, and I hope it's the question on your mind, is what do they want from us now? How much more information can they want from business owners? Well, here it is. So these are the kind of things they want. And so I've listed this out in the worksheet. So basically, they want the legal name of your entity and any trade name or doing business as name. So if you're doing the DBA, they want that name as well. They want your complete U.S. address. They want the state, so the state you're in, or the tribal or foreign jurisdiction of formation, whatever state or area that your entity originally formed in. Very important. And then they want a taxpayer identification number, which is just your EIN number, your federal identification number for your business return. That one shouldn't be too hard. None of this stuff is rocket science. It's not really hard. It's just extra things we got to do now because they're going to be tracking people a little bit more closely, which I'm not surprised in the current state of the U.S. That's what they're doing. And what is reported now? So that's for the company side. But you as a beneficial owner, now this is more focused towards you as the individual, whereas the other things I just mentioned were more towards your company. So as the individual, you're going to name of the individual, which is your name, that your date of birth, they want that. They want your address. They want your, most current U.S. address. And they want your ID number and issuing jurisdiction of a non-expired driver's license, U.S. passport, or an identification document issued by a state or local government or Indian tribe or foreign passport. They want so basically your driver's license, I think, will be the most common one people provide, or it's going to be a passport or something, some other primary form of identification if you're in if you don't currently have your driver's license and you're trying to get that. So from what I understand, guys, that you think you already have enough numbers to memorize in your head, the EIN number, your Secretary of State number, and all of this and that. They're going to actually give you another number that's specific for FinCEN, if I'm understanding them correctly from their webinar. They're going to give you a unique identifying number that you'll receive upon request after the individual or reporting company provides certain required information to FinCEN. So you're going to get a separate ID number directly with the Federal Crimes and Enforcement, or Financial Crimes and Enforcement Network. I know I covered this once already, but let's just talk about it again of when to file. So if you're companies formed before 2024 must submit their information to FinCEN by January 1st of 2025. So they're giving you, if you've already been in business, they're giving you a 1-year time frame to get that done. So you got some time. You don't have to worry about this tomorrow, but I'd probably just take care of it as soon as you can. And then companies formed as in January must report, here it is. So if you're a brand new company in January, you must report to FinCEN after the official formation document has been completed and you have like your Secretary of State number or your Secretary of State filing information. You're going to have to complete your FinCEN reports. Get this done, guys, within 90 days of that formation. So make sure that gets done. And starting in 2025, if you form a new company in 2025, LLC, corporation, S corporation, partnership, blah, 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 then at that point, you're going to have to, instead of waiting 90 days, if you're a new business owner at that point, you're going to have to file within 30 days. So in 2024, you have 90 days if you're a new entity, but if you form a new entity in 2025, you have 30 days to report to FinCEN. Now, how do we file this paperwork? So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go on their website, at FinCEN, which I'll leave a link to their website in the handout and also in the description section of the video. But you're going to have to go through their website. You're going to have to file electronically this reporting criteria to FinCEN. Now let's transition over to talking about penalties if you decide that you want to wait, or God forbid you weren't aware of these rules. It's steep, so let's talk about that right now. The penalties. And this is going to make you sick to your stomach, but here they are if you decide not to comply, guys. Penalties for willfully violating CTA, which is the Corporate Transparency Act, requirements include 1, civil penalties up to $500 per day that a violation is not remedied. 2, a criminal fine of up to $10,000. And or 3, imprisonment of up to 2 years. A safe harbor from the penalties is available to reporting companies that file corrected reports with FinCEN no later than 90 days after submission of the inaccurate report. It's very severe penalty, so make sure you get this done. The question you might be asking yourself now at this point is, are there any companies that are exempt? And there is a handful of companies that meet the criteria of this exemption, and I'm not going to read them all off to you, but it's mainly larger companies and banks and financial institutions and things like that are the businesses that are exempt from this. But just so you have a general understanding, exempt companies have these general characteristics about them. So they employ at least 20 full-time employees in the US. They have gross revenue or sales of over $5 million per year, and an operating presence at a physical office in the US. So those are some examples that you may find your company is actually exempt from these reporting requirements. If you're not sure, like I said, please speak with legal counsel to hone in on those details to make sure you get this right. Okay, as we wrap this up, let's just summarize this. So once again, you're going to do a reporting for your business, but also if you're a beneficial owner that owns or controls 25% or more of the business, or you have significant influence or decision-making capabilities that changes the direction of the company, then you could fall into that reporting criteria as well. You're going to find more information in the handout and on the FinCEN website. Like I said, I have resources in the handout that you can refer to regarding this. And you're going to want to do this. If you formed your business before 2024, then you have until 2025. But if you're a brand new business, remember you only have about 90 days starting in 2024 to form this. If you form your business in 2024, if you form your business in 2025, you have 30 days to comply with this. We know that penalties are steep, so you want to get this done as soon as possible. It's nothing challenging. Like, the information is fairly obvious, but it's just something you're going to have to do. Just more paperwork, right? On digital paperwork, because we're filing this online, guys. We're not doing this in paper to get this done. And then we're going to once we've done it, then I think you're good. Now, if you have a change in officers or a beneficial owner, then if there is a change, then you have 30 days to submit a new report to FinCEN with the updated information. So very important. So this is not just going to be a one-time thing, but as there's changes to your entity, then you're going to have to keep updating that report. Now, do you have to file this every year? I'm not sure. I honestly don't know at this point, but it might be one of those things where you file it once, and then unless there's changes, you don't have to file again. But something you're going to want to find out, because I don't know all the rules yet. This is all very new, but this is the large majority of the rules. You're going to find it in the handout, and I hope this information serves you well. Please feel free to leave your thoughts, your comments about all this. What do you think of FinCEN? Do you think this is necessary? Do you think this is more overreach of the government because the government seems to continue to expand and want more control? What do you guys think? Put it in the description or in the comment section below. I'd really appreciate your feedback. And until next time, if you want to see more information regarding taxes, accounting, and other matters, check out these videos right here. Talk to you soon, guys.